Right, so I've given you some assembly questions here, all right? Assembly code often comes up in the AQA A-Level spec. Sometimes it will ask you to follow, they'll give you a code, they'll give you the finished assembly code and ask you what the purpose is. Like in one spec one year, they wanted you to describe whether components were moving. So components were allocated registers and you had to describe what would happen. So if register 1 was equal to a 1, you would compare it and you would say, oh, that's now turned on the right motor of the arm. So the assembly questions can vary, they can vary from time to time. These sorts of questions are the ones that are common, but last year they definitely threw people through a loop because they expected people to read the code and interpret what motors it was turning on. So it was a very different approach to it. Now, this question here is a kind of straightforward one, all right? Let me go through what it's asking you to do first, and then we'll talk about how I would approach it personally, all right? You can approach it very differently, but this is just one way that I do it. Now, what you've got here is you've got your question, and it tells you that it's an algorithm for multiplying two variables together, all right? The result is stored in Y, all right? So W and X are multiplied and the result is stored in Y. It can be assumed that both W and X are positive. Z is a temporary value. Alright. The operation div performs an integer division. Now you should know by now in assembly code there is no such thing as division and there is no such thing as multiply either. You have to use left shifts or right shifts to get the value that you want. So sometimes it relies on you maybe making notes on this side just so you can visualize what the binary would be of that and move it left and right, all right? You can do it in its pure form, so it's number form with hashtags, or you can use the binary form. It's up to you, and they usually accept them either way. Now what I've got here, the line numbers of the program, all right? So W, X, and Y. Now if you look here, it says write a sequence of the assembly code to that performs the multiplication using the same method in the algorithm above. This is what's really important to you. It says assume that registers 0, 1, 2, and 3 store the values of W, X, Y, and Z. So what I often do is I put the numbers above it. So that's going to be register 0. That's going to be register 1, that's going to be register 2, and that's going to be register 3. There is nothing wrong with annotating programs as you write them. In fact, it's what I would do. Because what I'm going to say here is I'm going to go through this with this sheet, all right, and think about what assembly code maps over. If you do some mapping before you answer it, you're going to get a closer answer. So, somebody tell me, let's start here. What is most likely to be the if from that list?
The B condition.
It is not B, I'm afraid. Yes?
Is it compare?
It is compare. Compare is mapped to an if, alright? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there, and I'm just going to make a little note for me and say, okay, I'm going to need a comparison there, alright? Now, also, look at this. You've got a comparison, alright? But then with your comparison, you're going to need to look at what you're comparing. What's Z? Pardon?
R3.
That's R3. Alright? What symbol am I using?
1.
Once I've done the compare, alright? So I'm going to compare it to the number 1, but equal, I'm going to have somewhere, I'm going to need to branch. Alright? You can use BEQ, or you could just say branch if not equal as well. Alright? So if it's not equal, I can branch to this. So there's different ways to do it. I'm going to take the branch not equal approach, alright? So you can have branch if equal, or you can have branch if not equal, alright? Just bear that in mind. Now, again here, just before I start attempting this code, I've got Y. What is Y? That's R2. Again, I'm going to make a little note there. That's R2. That's R2. And what's X? R1. What's it doing? So let's have a look here. What does this do? Add. Those are added together. The result is RD. So I know somewhere there I'm going to need to do add, because that's add, and that's going to be R2, sorry, do that again, sorry, R2, so add R2 is where it's being stored, then you have the two that you're adding together, so there's going to be R2 and what value? R1. Because what happens is when you're doing adding, those two are added together and stored the result in there. Alright? Can you see where I'm kind of getting at with this? This is how you take a slow approach to, you've got to do a bit of mapping before you attempt it, I'm afraid. Alright? If you don't, you're just going to come out with something that's completely off the mark. Now, I'm just going to look down here, alright? And it's got, I'm not even thinking about my branching yet, alright? If you divide, well, first of all, what's W?
R0.
Right, good. Alright, so I know that that's R0. Again, that is R0, and it's dividing it by 2. Alright? All you need to do is have a look. It's on the back here. Logical shift value in the register by the number of bits specified and store the result in that register. So that's the reg. Logical shift to the right, and it's stored that result in that reg. Okay, I'm dividing by 2, so what shift am I doing?
Shift right by 1. Shift left.
So that one, to do the division, would be, go back, LSL, yeah? Left shift, sorry, that's multiplying. Sorry, I've done that back to front. Left shift to the right, because think about it logically here. If I have the value 10, and I shift that twice, yeah, what am I going to end up with? So if I shift that twice, I'm going to end up with 2. So that was 1, 2, 4, 8. So that was 10 down to 2. So what I should have done is shifted that once. Okay. So let's have a look. Does that help breaking that bit down? Now let me show you what the answer would look like, and I'm going to walk through it. All right. So I've got the start of the answer here. What I'm going to do, if you look here, it's already got the and. If you look, there's the and bit. That is line 5. So I'm going to make a note of that. I can see that that's where I've already started, alright? Then, next, I'm going to need to do a compare as part of this. So I'm going to do compare. Alright? Register 3. And what number have I got? 1. Hashtag 1. Yes.
You know the whole line with the if statement. Could you not just do that with the condition?
You have to do it. You cannot do a branch unless you've done a comparison before. Alright, so you must always do the comparison. Now, what I'm going to do is, if that is equal to 1, I'm going to branch to jump so that I can do my, sorry. I'm going to compare that, and I'm going to do a branch. I'm going to take the approach that it's not equal. So if it is not equal, it's going to go to jump, so it's going to do this part. Alright, so let's just do branch if not equal. You can do the equal and create your own labels or go back to the start of the loop. It is possible to do that. But I'm going to say branch if not equal, and it's going to go to jump. So that, if that comparison isn't right, it's going to go down to our new bit. So if you think about it, this is going to go here. You don't need to draw these arrows on your answers, by the way. Alright? Now, if I don't need to branch, what am I doing? We'll come to the branch in a minute. But if I don't need to branch, so that's not equal, that's going to be this bit here. But if I'm not branching, I'm going to stay up here. So what does that need to do?
You need to use add, storing in register 2.
Yep.
The addition of what's in register 2 and what's in register 1.
Register 2 and register 1, and the addition of those gets stored in there.
Yeah.
Please don't draw these arrows on. This is just me helping you, okay? And if you ever get stuck on which order, look, have a look here. It tells you that it's stored in register D. But remember, some of them, when you're storing it or loading registers, sometimes it can be the other way around. So just be mindful of that. Now, that's obviously skipped if it's equal because it goes to that, yeah? So that's the addition bit solved. But if it's not equal, we come down to this last bit, line 9 onwards, all right? Now, it says we're going to do W is W divided by 2. So what we're going to need to do there is LSR. To be fair, it's going to need to do both of these. So it doesn't matter if you've done it in a different order. Okay. So I'm going to store the result of R0. So R0, we're going to do W, which is R0, R0. Dividing by 2 is just one shift. Alright? I could see some of you looking puzzled at me a minute ago when I was talking about numbers, okay? But it's just one shift. Every one shift is a multiplication of 2 or dividing by 2. Obviously, it's not completely accurate, which is why we have floating point. Sometimes you'll need to split binary numbers into 2 to look at the first 4 bits and the separate 4 bits. That's what they'll do in an exam. So I'm going to do that by 1. But then I need to do this bit. X is X times 2. So this is going to be our left shift with which register? R1. Look. 1 was X. So we're going to go for R1. R1 hashtag 1. Now, in order to check whether or not I have finished, look here, it says until W is 0. Alright? So what am I going to need again? CMP. Good. Compare. Go compare. So I'm going to need to compare. And W, just double check it. This is why I annotate was register 0. Compare register 0 with hashtag 0. And if that is equal to that, then I'm going to jump to the end. Yeah? So if that is equal to 0, I'm going to need to end my loop, and there is an end loop there. End loop. Alright, I hope, yes.
So is it not LSL R1?
Yeah, that is LSL. Thank you. Alright, and that is obviously left shift and right shift. So that was the div and that was the multiply. Yes.
You know when you add R2 and then you do the add operation,
Yes.
does it automatically go to a jump? Or because surely when after you finish the add operation you need to go to jump. So do you not need some sort of branch to jump after you add the two numbers?
No, because assembly code is just sequential, it just goes into it. So when I get back here, it's going to go to the start loop anyway and take you right back up to the start. Alright? So just remember the thing about assembly code is it is just sequential, it'll just keep going down. It's only when you have the pointers to take you where you need to go that it will go back up there. if you forget to put a pointer in and they give you a question, you won't be able to get back up there, and it will just keep going and going and going. So just be mindful of that, all right? I'll stop that recording.